Hi guys, welcome to my second video. As I spoke about yesterday, I wanted to cover more about the NFT projects, why we're choosing to build an NFT project, and what I think NFT projects are missing, etc., etc., etc. So, um, there's loads out there. This video is called The Manhattan Project because it quite literally, I feel like NFTs are like the new Manhattan Project. Whereas you know, back in the day, they take this mass ability to create energy and they turn it into a bomb. And yeah, there's been some nuclear power and stuff from it, but completely underutilized. And we're going to take that massive, massive leap forward, and we're going to turn it into something destructive. Well, NFTs have taken this massive leap forward, and essentially, at the moment, we've turned them into JPEGs. Now, I agree there's other use cases, and some people are using NFTs to provide sort of a use case, but it's all in and around this Web 3.0 stroke DeFi stroke let's increase rewards, let's make it so you can drop this as. They're just completely underutilized, and it's weird to see, and it's weird that it's quite slow in progression. The main reason why I think we're going to tackle this at Audacity is for two reasons. As I said yesterday, I don't think anyone's really cracked this user experience type thing for NFTs yet. So I'm just going to go through a couple of the current marketplaces. I'm going to keep this one relatively short and quick. So we've got the biggest here, OpenSea. It has mass trading volume monthly, and this is where you're going to find the majority of your massive collections. So you've got your Bored Apes and your Mutant Apes, your CryptoPunks, all that sort of stuff. I mean, if we look at this now, I mean, these things, apart from owning them, they don't actually provide much else. But the last sale on this one's like 81 ETH, which is just so ridiculous. For what they are, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're quite quirky and all the rest of it, but all they're doing is exploiting people within Ethereum that have got lots of money, basically, or they've got lots of Ethereum floating around, or just trying to. So I don't really get it. So, but if you own one, you want one, crack on. And lava lamps may introduce some utility with them later on down the line, some real utility for them later on down the line. So great. Another relatively big one is called Foundation. It's another pretty much platform. So you click on Foundation, it brings you to this page. The first thing that's listed here is this thing called Oxygen, and this is what actually comes up when you actually join the site. And the current bid on this is 13 ETH. Again, I'm not really seeing why. So, but if we just go to the governance, it was like listed and then straight away a bid's placed. So, I mean, you have to be careful with that within the NFT community as well. There is a lot of people bidding on things to give them an apparent value, even when it's just like friends walking around in a circle sort of type thing. So, I'll list this, please place a bid on it. We'll transfer between this, behind the scenes, and just be careful. So, again, another one, this one's called Super Rare. It's another relatively big platform. Again, that user experience it's very similar. I find them just odd. I do. So there's no sort of structure to them. There's no, okay, we're going to put these into this category, these into this category, these into this category. They tend to list them by people that are listing, instead of like picking sort of like what they represent, or having some sort of interface that allows you to pick the sort of thing that appeals to you. So if you want sort of like your cartoony type things, if you want real art, if you want, again, so that's that one. And this is the CryptoPunks website from Lava Lamps. As I say, these are unique collectible characters with proof of ownership stored. So there isn't any sort of like real utility to them yet. As I say, it's not like they won't add any utility, or they won't. So another one is the Spectrum NFT platform, which again is, there's no clear cut to it. And then all of them, when you sort of like go into exploring, so we've got open secrets. So if we want to explore, we're going to explore all NFTs. So it sort of brings you into groups, and we can say it's very clunky. That's all I'm going to say on it. It's really clunky. And the same with all of them. So when you sort of go to the exploring tabs and you start to look and you start to, there's nothing grabs you, nothing pulls you, nothing, and it's just awful to work around and sort of go on to. So again, nothing draws. So it's just one of those things. And then we get to sort of like your articles on why I think it's underutilized. So basically, an NFT it's a non-fungible token. That's what it stands for, and they can be used for so many things. But the main use for me would be sort of a proof of ownership, a verification, a track and trace, and all of those things that come with distinct, unique signatures. These are to me what NFTs are. And when I think about an NFT and an NFT utility, so many things come to my mind. So I think about decentralized certifications, so where you can take courses. I think about decentralized video streaming platforms where instead of monetizing in a currency, you're monetizing in sort of an NFT, so to speak. Again, there's just loads of possibilities within DeFi, but then we go beyond DeFi and we start looking at possibilities in the real world. We start looking at digital identity, driving license issued as NFTs, passports issued as NFTs, all of these things that you can carry with you and you can have in your wallet, and you can have all of those use cases for NFTs. For me, are a much better use case than what we're using them for at the moment. Because when we talk about a digital identity and a decentralized sort of version of you, so to speak, where people can't collate your data and they can't monetize you, if you've read any of my articles, you'll have seen the one with the VCs where basically we're commodities stripped for parts. And all of that comes from an infringement of your personal data, which NFTs being used to actually prove who you are would be an exceptional use of that technology, because then they wouldn't be able to tie you down to this is Simon Adams who works at Audacity, all the rest of it. They would just be able to tie you down as to this is this address, and they don't need to know all the details about you. They just need to know that you exist, and that's been verified. And if we can find ways to verify people using NFTs and using the blockchain technology as a whole, again, for voting, imagine if an NFT was issued for a vote card and then you delegate that NFT to whoever you're voting for. Nobody knows who you are. They just know that this address voted for X amount of persons. So again, it's just one of those things. If we can decentralize how data is collected, how we prove who we are, how we exist in the world, and if we can do that from a pseudo-anonymous point of view, then we're going to move forward. And that's what we intend to do with our NFT platform. So our NFT platform is going to be used primarily for those sort of things as well. We've got some exceptional artists, but I've also got an idea for being paid to learn instead of the whole play to earn sort of type thing. I want people to learn, and I want to get people to get paid for learning. And if we can do that via not having to know who people are, and we can issue accredited certificates. So because we can issue from one of our accredited trainers who's going to do this and who's going to do that. And then if that person attends the course, if that person completes the course, we can issue a decentralized NFT that says that this person has completed a course in et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We don't need to know who you are. We don't need to know all the details. And if we look at the DeFi space as a whole, and then we look at other projects looking for people to develop in the space, and there's still that sort of anonymity that's around there. And it will help teams decide if there could be those sort of things. It would help teams decide who to hire. It would help teams. So we can move to this decentralized version of us, and we can still coexist in the real world, and we can still, but there's going to be this balance. And I think NFTs can sort of certainly help towards that. At the moment, I just feel like they're being vastly wasted. I'm excited to see how they do evolve, because the whole craze of just a JPEG thing now, it's pretty much gone for me. And I think it's gone for a lot of people. There's a lot of money in Ethereum. There's a lot of people with a lot of money in Ethereum, and this is just a status thing now. I think I own a CryptoPunk, I own a Bored Ape, I own this, I own that, but that will give way to utility eventually, and let's use them for sensible things. So let's charge $5 or $10, or let's do a course where people can enter the course, and it's only 12, it's only $12 or $14 per person, and you've got somebody teaching something. Matt Hamilton does it on Twitch. He does it really well. So imagine if there's a way that we could digitize a video platform so people can just pay without knowing who they are. And all of these things, they sort of exist now, but they don't exist in a form that's usable. And that's what we want to see moving forward. We want to see a usable version of these with great user interfaces that people can easily you can easily onboard people into it, where it doesn't matter how it all works on the back end, as long as it works on the front end and we can take care of everything on the back end. So yeah, so that I'm excited about. So stay tuned, lots more to come. Take care, see you soon.